Good evening. Good evening. Tonight is the night that we maybe begin chapter 3. In these interim parts, it's like, it's all cutscene, and then I run around talking to everyone in town, do some side quests with a ton more cutscenes, and then a ton more cutscenes, and then a mini dungeon, and then a ton more cutscenes. Then chapter 3 starts. I doubt we're gonna get like to the next field exercise. Well, we'll see. Let's just, you know. It is what the game is. What it is. So we just settle in, get comfy.
I see. So Marquis Ragnar will be absent as well. I take it this means House Hyarms will be the only one of the 4 great houses in attendance.
Would that it were different. For all of his faults, Marquis Ragnar is a man of principle, which makes his continuing house arrest for his actions during the Civil War all the more unfortunate.
One can't be too careful with a man who can lead his own militia. Though compared to the Governor General of Crossbell, he's a mere child playing with toys.
Useless.
Sorry, just idle thoughts. By the by, what kind of man is this Marquis Ballad?
Every bit the man the rumors make him out to be. Foolhardy and greedy, but dangerously savvy when it comes to matters of personal gain.
I keep looking at the text and thinking it's a different text. Like it's a different font.
I can't even imagine how his presence will disrupt our conference. And I'm unfortunate enough to be his caretaker.
I don't know why.
Well, with your father there, I can't imagine he'll be too much of a terror. Marquis Hyarms tends to have a sobering effect on people.
Very true. My father does not suffer fools gladly. But after the recent incidents in Crossbell and Sutherland, there's no telling what to expect. You would do well to exercise caution yourself.
You hardly need to remind me. Besides, I'm going to be among people I trust.
That's right. I suppose the conference does overlap with the branch campus's field exercises. Something else for me to look forward to. It will be a pleasure to see Class 1's former rivals reunited after all.
Lord Eustace, your visitor has arrived.
Lord Eustace.
Ah, yes, let her in.
Right this way, young lady.
Thanks. How's it going, Eustace? Long time no see.
Hello, Milliam. You're a little late.
Hey, it's not my fault it takes so long to get approved. Why do I need to get permission every time I want to see you anyway?
The reason should be obvious, given each of our positions.
Yeah! Hey! Dodging's no fair.
Sometimes I fear you'll never learn. You're 15 now, aren't you? Would it kill you to act a bit more ladylike?
Lammy! Think fast!
Oh, hell.
Gotcha!
Get off me! You can't just jump on someone in an outfit like that.
Oh, you want to compare fashion notes, Mr. Fancy Haircut? But fine, if it keeps you from getting any more wrinkles.
Just get off.
Now this is good! Every bit as tasty as the pancakes Tilly and I had earlier.
You know, the children in town are starting to act more like you. Why do I get the feeling you've been teaching them?
Well, we have been hanging out a little. Every time I come visit you, I get to know them a little better. They're all really good kids.
That they are. So what if she was artificially created? She's just like any other girl. Aside from her complaints about not getting taller anyway.
Something on your mind?
Not at all. So, how are things on your end? As for me, my schedule remains unchanged.
All right. Even with all the crazy stuff that's happened, I should be good to go. Are you excited? You and me going on vacation.
I suppose the place is so pretty that it would feel like a vacation. Even if we're walking into what is essentially a carnival of villainy.
You've got a way with words, Eustace. I just wish I had access to more information. Even if most of the classified stuff is just about nobles and the Bracer Guild.
I wouldn't worry about it. That's standard operating procedure for the intelligence division. Though, I imagine your status as an Ironblood gets you more leeway than others.
Still, if I had the same clearance as Lecter, I could be so much more helpful to everyone from Class 7. Reen, Elisa, and Machias seem to have it especially tough. Bea and Sarah, though, I think they can take care of themselves.
You don't have to worry about taking care of any of us. Besides, the fact that you're a part of Class 7 means so much more to us than any political favor you could offer.
I'm giving you another hug.
Yeah, that was very, like, sweet for Eustace.
No, you are not.
Wait, what's that sound?
Ah, it must be Class 7 related. I wonder what happened.
No way!
Could it be?
Been a while, Eustace. Huh? Oh, and Milliam is with you too.
Gaius!
I was beginning to think he was dead. No joke. They dropped us saying something like, it's hard to get a hold of Gaius, isn't it? Wink, wink. Wait, where the fuck is this? I missed the first bit. It's Raquel, but where the hell is that?
Wow, they're really going at it. I figured Needhog would be good, but the other guys are no slouches themselves. Betcha they'll give us a pretty good fight.
They've both been in shambles ever since the Civil War. The dragon lost its head. And as for the other group, well...
Guess this makes it a fight neither side can afford to lose. I'd like to have a battle with a certain someone myself.
You wouldn't be talking about little old me now, would you? Easy now, Blitz. I'm unarmed, see? I should be the one on edge here.
Sorry, but I'd rather not take any chances. Not with someone who can go toe-to-toe with Lord Balder.
Aw, lighten up. Can't you relax around an old drinking buddy?
I think Daddy might be the only person who could drink with you and not be nervous. That said... This is pretty weird. I saw you and Uncle Balder kill each other with my own eyes. And now you're here. Does this have something to do with that cool purple shadow thing?
Who can say? Seriously, though, you don't really want to start a fight in a place like this, do you? The two of you against little old me? I'd have zero chance of winning.
You're real funny, old man. But I get it. We're all just observers this time. So, once you get things squared away with your business, come pay us a visit. We'll be waiting.
Excuse us, Jaeger King.
Really had me sweating there. Old man like me would stand a chance against all that youthful exuberance. Don't you think? I'm just talking to myself. Don't let it spook you. The Colonel, your dad, took good care of me back in the day. Introduced me to my favorite brand of smokes. By the way, I meant to thank you for taking care of Fee. Chasing us from battlefield to battlefield's all well and good, but raising that kid right is what really matters. Even if you're practically a kid yourself.
I really hope I get an answer as to, like, how these people are coming back to life.
Yikes. That was just like 3 years ago. Colonel. I haven't heard that in a while. Bloody Shirley. No, the Sanguine Ogre.
I mean, I want to answer this to the ogres too, but I don't think we'll get that until the 4th game.
She had to have noticed me too. I've been off the front lines for too long. Meanwhile, Fee's been picking up skill after skill. I'm really starting to feel my age. Wait, what am I saying? I'm only 27. Well, almost 28, but either way, I'm too young to be old. Okay, Sarah, focus. We've got 2 of the strongest Jaeger corps, the Dragons and these Jaegers in purple, battling it out. One way or another, things are gonna come to a head, for me and for the kids.
It doesn't quite sound like the same voice actor.
And you know,
That makes me
even
sad.
if he is a far cry from the Viscount, I have to admit, the Jaeger King is a real fox.
She's doing a pretty good job, though. Very Sarah-like. I'm just attached to the old voice.
Well, someone's early for a change. Basking in its glory? Even I was surprised when I first saw it.
Yeah. I hear there's another one in a place called Nord.
Yes, just about the same size, too. Even though it's a very different shape. Wait, is something bothering you?
No. I don't sense any power within this thing. It's nothing but a shell. Just makes me wonder where the insides went.
Insides?
Sorry we're late.
Have you been a good girl, Duvalie?
Took you too long enough.
I said sorry. Oh, the almighty conflagrate.
My, are we interrupting something intimate?
Don't even joke about that. I would never. Especially not with some lazy, irresponsible bum like him.
Never is right. No man could ever sway a little lord's pet like her. Well, aside from maybe that Ashen kid. Isn't he your type?
Oh.
Dear me.
Absolutely not! And what do you mean, Lord's pet? If anything, Mick Byrne, you don't have enough respect for the Anguis.
I guess that makes 2 of us.
It's you.
It has been a while, fool.
When was the last time? The crossbell incident?
I believe so. Though we've all been busy roaming across the continent, so I won't hold it against you. With that, all of us who were stationed to the west are here. Except Shirley, that is.
Yeah, The crazy ogre chick's off getting a read on the front lines.
The thought of her off on her own scares me a little. But we have preparations to make. Before our beautiful and proud lord arrives.
There's no need for that. My lord.
I didn't expect you to arrive so early. My lord! I'm so glad you're here. I didn't think I would get to see you so soon.
I'm suddenly thinking, I can't remember her name. General Aurelius? The principal. She's a principal, isn't she?
Nor did I. I thought we had several days left to wait.
Did something change among the Anguis?
Yes. The Oathbreaker and Lady Mariabelle decided to take on Arteria. And the professor completed the final ion earlier than planned.
Sounds like he's been working hard.
He probably didn't like what happened to his last one.
Ah, Campanella and McBurn. How long has it been? About a year?
Sounds about right.
Still wearing that clunky helmet of yours, I see. There's a nice breeze right now, so why don't you take it off?
McBurn! How dare you say that to our lord?
Now, Duvalie. He's no subject of mine. Since we're ahead of schedule, why don't we have a little duel? If you can manage to tear this helm from my head, I'll be able to feel the lovely breeze you mentioned.
Nah, I'm good. Not because I think I'll lose, but because I don't think I can actually win. Just like all of our other fights.
What?
You're right. Although, the outcomes may have been different had you taken my sword lessons more seriously.
Damn it, don't treat me like I'm Louvet.
Just what is their relationship?
Now let us begin. The third of our experiments to reclaim the Phantasmal Blaze plan. To determine whether or not a vessel can gain power through combat.
Was it the next ion? It was pretty big. Getting there on the seeds. Additional funding and equipment to enhance the school. Nice. Oh, the student store's open. Transfers among students. Are they finally joining? We now a class of 5. Man, it's already the weekend. Can't believe it's been 3 weeks since we got back from Crossbelt. Time sure does fly. We got back 19 days ago to be exact. Tomorrow's our free day, but I feel like I still have a little energy left. Oh, looks like you've gotten a bit tougher, Allie. Leo told me you're doing pretty good in swimming club. Still can't swim more than 40 arch, though. seems you've been working hard at tennis practice yourself, Yuna. In fact, I've heard you're to have an exhibition match with the high school in Heimdall. Yeah, apparently their tennis club was just founded too, so we figured it'd be the perfect matchup. I hope the rain clears up. I wanted to get in some practice after school. According to the forecast, it should be sunny after 4 p.m. But judging from your grades, Yuna, shouldn't you be studying instead? Ugh, you're so predictable. Well, the finals are still a month away, so you've got time. There's no way I've got enough time for club practice and studying. You don't have to practice for any matches in chess club, do you, Kurt? Actually, we have a match set up with another high school as well. A significant amount of my study time has gone to reading over match transcripts and teaching the game to Sydney. I forgot what a brainiac you are. Thank you, I'll take that as a compliment. These two have been getting along lately. Hold on, I turned up my headphones while doing things, and I need to turn down my headphones. Oh god. Because it's really loud in my ears. Ah! Yeah! Somehow I hit auto. That looked like actually useful information that showed up. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep skipping. So I can lock. Okay. Well, I wasn't even that far from, like, control. We're just gonna restart. I can just hit skip. We're back in school. Okay. Where were we? It was around here. Yeah. It was right here. It was right here. Oh yeah, I was checking out the campus store this morning, and it's pretty nice. I've got stuff all over for sale. I also picked up the latest Imperial Chronicle there. That shop is run by Instructor Reen's fellow graduate, Miss Becky, correct? The school is, at last, starting to resemble a real military school. The buildings have always been nice, but they were sort of empty on the inside. I feel like the medical office and gardening area have finally started running too. I think Miss Lind, the one running the medical office, also went to Thor's with Instructor Reen. And Sandy's done an amazing job with the gardening area. On top of all that, we also have the new Panzer sold-out models. I'm surprised to hear you read the Imperial Chronicle, though. I'd have thought you'd find it boring, given that most of his articles cover the Imperial mainland. Well, they've been trying to be more open lately. Also, they run an article on Crossbell every now and then, so I've been trying to pick up the new issues when I can. Oh, there was something on the table of contents I was going to ask about. What's this big conference thing about? Oh, is it that time of year already? I think it's later than usual. The Imperial Provincial Council, held once a year, is a gathering of all the highest-ranking aristocrats in the Empire. None whose title is lesser than Count are permitted entry. Traditionally, it's been organized by the four great houses. Curious if I can figure out who's who. Nope, no idea. No fucking clue. Last year was held in St. Ark and hosted by Marquis Hjarms. Four great houses. I've heard of them before. They're pretty much the ones who run this country. Two of them got thrown in jail after the Civil War, though, right? I remember Allie mentioning she got caught. She caught one of them. You mean Duke Cayenne? He was the leader of the Noble Alliance during the Civil War. Duke Alpareo was the other one. He was captured by the original Class 7. He was charged with abuse of the people and arson. It was his second son that arrested him. She sounds like a horrible guy. But, the original Class 7 was evolved and all that, too. So that means Duke Alpareo's second son, the one who arrested him. was Governor General Rufus's younger brother Eustace. I hear he's now acting as the new head of the Alborea family. Though their power may be waning, this country is still one ruled by the nobility. Were they to suddenly withdraw from running the empire, the central government would not yet be able to manage on its own. In that sense, the Imperial Provincial Council still holds great importance in this country. So, if he's the new head of the family, does that mean this Eustace guy is going to be there too? Well, if he's Instructor Reen's friend, I'm sure he'll support all the right stuff. Huh? I mean, I'm not saying I trust him just because he's Instructor Reen's friend. It's just everyone from Class 7, besides Instructor Reen, is so nice. Why do you two keep looking at me like that? Oh, no, don't mind us. I'm starting to understand what it means to be a sucker for someone. Good morning, everyone. Seems like things are pretty lively in here. Good morning. Hey, don't just burst in here all of a sudden like that. Wait, are you here later than usual? More importantly... Sharp as ever. It's a bit sudden, but starting today, we'll be getting some new members in our class. What? Sudden is an understatement. Alright, you two come in. You two. I'm sure you all know each other by now, but go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'll go first. I'm Muse Egret. I've transferred from military finance to join you here in Class 7. It's truly a pleasure to meet you all.
Ash Carbide, transferring from combat tactics. Got no plans to make friends here, but nice to meet you, I guess.
To Class 7? Ash Carbide from Class 8 and Muse Egret from Class 9. According to the reports, these two are a bit too unruly, considering this is a punishment. Consider this a punishment of sorts for them. It's not that I don't get it, but don't us instructors share some of the blame too? Oh, I had always planned to shuffle the classes around a little. Class 7 has needed more members from the beginning, especially after the incidents at our last two field exercise locations. That's true, especially considering what might happen in the future. What's your take on this? No question, the two of them have more than enough skill and mental fortitude. If they don't have any objections to the transfer, we'd be more than happy to take them in. Good to hear. Any objections, Chief Instructor? Well, most lessons are held jointly for all three classes, so there should be no problems. Is this really just coincidence? The Intelligence Division did mention something about Carbide. Well then, it's been decided. Now Class 7 is 5 members. Fair warning, Ash can be a bit ornery, so good luck dealing with him. Yeah, got it. Muse, I should go talk to each of them in person. This is called mobile defense. You lure the enemy's main force to where you want them with the token defensive line, then counterattack from a different direction. You'll need to distribute your troops, be flexible, and coordinate well. It's a tactic that can be pulled off even with what we've got here. This is one of the things Uncle taught me. They don't teach you this kind of stuff at Police Academy. You see, it is both an offensive and defensive maneuver. Someone actually bothered to name such a basic-ass idea. Half of the agreements reached during the West Samaria Trade Conference have now been nullified, but the other half are still in place, and many hope they'll become a bridge to repair relations between the Empire and the Republic. One of these is an agreement signed by all the countries the Transcontinental Railroad connects. Other countries is Samaria. Perhaps I must study them a bit more. I know some of these names, what are all these technical terms? A rather unique point of view for an NGO. This is stupid. Agreements like that are made to be broken. Scoop. now, no need to get all tense. It's time for our once-a-week class on the arts. No matter if you are a noble or commoner, Erebonian or otherwise, you must nourish your soul with art. Last time we covered melody, chords, and rhythm. Orion, sing the first passage on page 17. What? Just like that? Okay. Oh, shit. Your emotional expression still needs work, but having such precise melody, chords, and rhythm can still be soothing in its own way. Now, if we were to add a chord here, we would see that... etc. etc. I wasn't expecting to hear Altina sing at any point. Good job today, everyone. Muse and Ash, now that you're part of Class 7, your lessons won't change much, but let me know if either of you have any concerns. Oh, I'm perfectly fine, thank you. Nothing I can't handle. Besides our art classes, anyway. I think it's safe to say everyone in that class is nervous. I didn't expect her to have me sing like that. Well, I didn't expect you to be able to actually do it on demand like that. Also, Kurt and Muse I get, but why are you so smart too, Ash? Every single time you were called on in class, you knew the answer no problem. Who knows, maybe I'm just smarter than you. What did you just say? Hey, you're all in the same class now, so work on getting along. Of course, my door is always open if any of you need to talk, so don't hesitate to ask about anything. Well, if that's the case, perhaps I'll stop by your room tonight for some private lessons. Seriously, enough with that already. Classes suddenly become far more lively.
Stand. Bow.
It was all pretty out of the blue, you know. Were you two both okay with being moved around like that? I did enjoy my old class, was not particularly keen on leaving, but how can I pass up a chance to be with Instructor Reen? Okay, yeah, that one's on me. I should have known asking you was a waste of my time. I thought you of all people would be staunchly opposed to being in Instructor Reen's class. You were pretty vocal about how much you hate him. Nah, I don't hate him, I just don't like him is all. I know he's not a bad guy, and he's been through a lot of crap, I'll give him that much. Not to mention those special powers of his. How do you know about that? Hey, that's my secret. But man, that guy's a riot. He's friends with a talking cat, he flies around in a big toy from the Dark Ages. So let's just say that being in his class gives me a front row seat to the gag comic that is his life. Hey, if we're to be classmates, I prefer to avoid any trouble you cause. I've no doubt we'll all get along just fine. Every one of us here has an interest in Instructor Reen one way or another. Including dear Ash, of course, though he'd never admit it himself. Huh, now that you mention it, I suppose Ash would not have taken the actions he has were he truly uninterested. Now I understand. Damn it, you're not just some girl, are you? You're a she-devil in human skin. Or should I call you a harpy, egret? Oh, no, I'd much prefer you call me a pretty white lily. Well, anyway. Muse, Ash, welcome to Class 7 Special Operations. Let's do our best together and show Instructor Reen what we're made of. Though our class has grown, we're still smaller than either of the other two classes. It would be best if we were to work together on any tasks we can. Good to have you aboard. First we do Panzer Soldat training. Or was it the Keep? All this team spirit's gonna make my lunch come back up. But if we're planning to show Schwarzer up, I'm all in. This must be the will of the goddess. I thank you for your warm welcome. As usual, tomorrow's briefing will be held at 3 p.m. in the tactical conference room. I'll see you all then. How are your newbies treating you? You've got quite a colorful group going on now. I imagine it's a bit difficult dealing with both Muse and Ash. The way I see it, they were meant to be in Class 7. Besides, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can really do. As their instructor and as a fellow member of Class 7, I'll do everything I can to help them hone their best qualities. Really now, that's very you, Reen. Well, if you ever need any help training them, just give me a holler. Sure thing. Oh, Reen, I nearly forgot. We got these in earlier. Rain's making it so gloomy out. It's supposed to clear up by evening, though. New pair of Class 7 notebooks. They'll need these for their missions. Oh wow, we've really come together since the field exercises in Crossbell. We went through a lot, but overall it was a good experience. Crow. Leader of the gnomes. Who could that man be? There's no way it's possible. Well, anyway, I guess I should find Ash and Muse and give them their notebooks. I'd also like to chat with Lind and Becky while I'm out. Alright, and Celine said she was going to do the academy even though it was raining. She said there was something she needed to look into. Maybe I'll check up on her. Alright, what'd I get? I don't remember getting you a wind chime, but you're welcome. I don't have anything to update. I doubt. Whoa! Hello? Michael? Something you want to ask me, I'll do my best to answer. After the people imprisoned in the birdcage were released, what happened to them? Well, it seems like they're more mindful of their actions. They've been quiet. But with the recent events, the government is looking into their treatment of the former Special Support Section. Depending on their future actions, the government might take a harder stance. Sorry, I've said too much. Alright, there's lots and lots to do. We just take it one room at a time. Randy, you're still here. Yeah, I thought I finished prepping some things for military science. Oh yeah, didn't you want to ask me something? About the direction Crossbell's heading in, especially after those field exercises. I don't want to get you into trouble or anything. I hear the SSS has started operations, at least. Not that it super matters, since they're still under the Governor General's thumb. That much should be more than clear enough, considering what happened the other day. Sorry, I don't know what to say. It's not something you need to feel sorry about. Those guys were ready for the long haul from the start. They're gonna persevere and push on like they always have. If anything, I think Calvard's the bigger issue here. I heard they've officially equipped Tangram Gate with railway cannons right by the border with Calvard. Yeah, it seems like they got some large-scale construction underway for that. But yeah, with all that in mind, we gotta brace ourselves when... Oh jeez, what am I saying? It's just the two of us here, take it easy. Oh yeah, I was gonna look Can I look at... Oh, I can't look at costumes. Yeah, that's a tennis outfit. What did I else? Oh yeah, I got the swimsuit, yeah. That's right. There's a lot of people in here. Stan's hat. Why do I feel like this is going to turn into a fight? Well, this rain is nice. I know you're familiar with Eastern culture. Do you write haiku? My master did, but I'm completely clueless when it comes to those. On top of all that, all your other artistic pursuits, do you write poetry too? Can I say, perhaps I take after my predecessor. In any event, I saw the images. He is indeed very similar. Not only that machine of his, but his voice and even the way he carries himself. Did you know him too? The Azure Chevalier was the young hero of the Noble Alliance. I only spoke with him a handful of times, but I remember thinking how young he looked, especially since standing next to Cayenne. After the war, when I heard of his death, I remember thinking what a waste it was losing such a young man with a bright future. Well, that's the extent of my relationship with him, so let's leave it at that. I'll leave it to you and Herschel how we interpret this masked man, including determining whether he is friend or foe to us here at the branch campus. Thomas, since when do you work in the library? I had a little free time, so I thought I'd stop by and update the library's catalog. Celestine's pretty much taken care of that already. All hail the mighty Celestine, nothing gets by him. You know, this academy really has come a long way. Right? No small thanks to Becky and Lind. Once they arrived, this campus's facilities really got going. Any chance that means we can start taking it a little easier? Maybe a little. Or it at least frees my schedule up so I can help out in new different ways. I mean, that might be the most Toa thing you've ever said. You recommended reader? I don't need to read this out loud. It's about board games. Northern War, though. Oh my god, it's 12 pages. On November 3rd, 1205, a pitch-black shadow burst through the Dnieper Gate on the southwestern border of the state of North Ambria. It was a special black Hector model of Panzer Soldat, the personal machine of Brigadier General Wallace Bardius of Sutherland's provincial army. A giant crossbeam scattered the northern Jaegers in the autonomous weapons known as archaisms they had guarding the gate, and a golden Panzer Soldat leading a 100-strong battalion from the Empire of Erebonia entered the country. The one piloting the Golden Machine was none other than the commander of Lamar's provincial army, Aradia Le Guin, the Golden Rakshasa. That day, the remnants of the Noble Alliance's forces invaded North Ambria under her and Brigadier General Bardius' command. It was with this show of force that their campaign began, and the same force would see it concluded in a matter of days. The battles that ensued would later come to be known as the Northern War. The seeds of the conflict were planted during the Empire's Civil War the year prior. A Jaeger Corps based out of North Ambria, known as the Northern Jaegers, was hired by the Noble Alliance to fight the Imperial Army in Kreuzen. During this time, they took part in an attack on the market town Keldic, under orders of Duke Helmut Almeria of the Four Great Houses, burning Keldic to the ground in the process. After the war, the Duke was tried for his actions, but as the Jaegers were the ones who set the fires, they were deemed to be at fault for the destruction wrought on the town. Thus, in June of the following year, the Empire made a claim for reparations to the Jaegers' homeland of North Ambria. Though the state and the Jaeger Corps were two sides of the same coin, the North Ambrian Diet argued they were not, in fact, affiliated. I think that's pronounced Diet when it's like some sort of political body. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to say Diet because when I say diet, I think food. Or lack of food. The Diet condemned the burning of Keldic as inhumane, but had no possible way of paying the sums requested, due largely to the chronic financial troubles that had plagued the state ever since the North Ambrian disaster in 1178. As the Diet debated over how to proceed in the face of mounting pressure from the Empire, the Northern Jaegers suddenly staged a coup, quickly occupying the Parliament building. They were assisted by a large number of the aforementioned archaisms, supplied to them by the same international criminal organization that acted behind the scenes during the Imperial Civil War, Ouroboros. On July 5th, 1205, the North Ambrian government, still under occupation by the Northern Jaegers, issued a formal refusal to pay reparations to Erebonia. The Imperial government took the situation seriously and attempted negotiations through a number of different channels, but ultimately failed to make any headway. With its diplomatic options exhausted, the Empire turned to the still hostile remnants of the Noble Alliance forces that had barricaded themselves in Lamar's Juno naval fortress at the end of the Civil War. Seeing an opportunity to solve two problems at once, the Imperial government made an offer to the barricaded troops: invade and conquer North Ambria in exchange for amnesty for their part in the war. Le Guin and Bardius accepted the offer, vacating the naval fortress at the end of August, and after 2 months of planning in tandem with the Intelligence Division and the Railway Military Police, the invasion was ready. After breaking through the defenses of the Dnieper Gate, the Empire's combined provincial armies marched to North Ambria's capital of Haliask, suppressing the Northern Jaegers' bases in small towns such as Kilva and Lively along the way. In just 3 days, they had reached their destination. There, they found that the Northern Jaegers had deployed large archaisms across the entire city, even going so far as to release them into the streets, essentially taking the civilians hostage in a last-ditch effort to stop the Empire's advance. God, when you drink beer and, talk a lot, it makes me have to burp. General Le Guin surrounded the city and was tasked with negotiating on behalf of the Empire. She gave the Jaegers a week to surrender before she would begin her assault on the city. In response to the rising tensions, the Bracer Guild headquarters in Le Mans dispatched a large number of high-ranking bracers to the city in an attempt to mediate and help the civilians trapped there. Meanwhile, the Imperial government called upon the Ashen Chevalier, Breen Schwarzer, and his Divine Knight to deploy to Haliask in order to neutralize the archaisms. However, time was short, and General Le Guin's deadline was fast approaching. On November 12th, the Ashen Chevalier, a number of high-ranking bracers, and elite members of the Railway Military Police infiltrated the city in a concerted effort to neutralize the archaisms and Jaegers patrolling the streets and get the trapped civilians to safety. They were successful in evacuating the civilians and destroying a large number of the archaisms, but before they knew it, the week General Le Guin had given the Jaegers was up. On the morning of November 13th, the battalion of Panzer Soldats that had encircled Haliask began their advance. Led by commanders Le Guin and Bardius, they pulverized the city's outer defenses, drove back the Jaegers, made their way into the city proper. By noon of that same day, they had seized control of the Parliament building. Thanks to the efforts of the Ashen Chevalier, the Bracers, and the RMP, civilian casualties were extremely low. Further, due to the sheer overwhelming power of the general's advance, many Jaegers chose to flee over holding their ground, resulting in surprisingly few casualties among their number as well. By the end of the day, all the remaining members of the thousands-strong Northern Jaegers had completely surrendered. When the dust had settled, the Imperial dignitaries arrived on the scene and began detailed negotiations to bring a formal end to the conflict. Because North Ambria's economy had been dependent on funds brought in by the Northern Jaegers, the state had no way to rebuild itself without them, much less pay the reparations demanded by the Empire. In the face of objections from both the Bracer Guild and the Septian Church, concerns voiced by neighboring countries, and an outright denouncement from Calvard, the Empire announced on November 30th that it would be annexing the formerly independent state. Finally, on December 23rd, Emperor Eugent III gave his approval, and the North Ambria province of the Erebonian Empire was formally established. So everybody was against this, but we did it anyway. Good to know. Don't know how many was here before. I don't think I've seen this. Considering the size and history of the Erebonian Empire, blah blah blah, this is number 2. Unicorn, sacred creatures pure white in color with a single horn that is said to be capable of curing any illness. Legends state that only virgin maidens are able to touch one, and as such, it has been adopted as the symbol of St. Astraea Girls' Academy. Nooms, granted the people of old the knowledge of steel. A staple of ancient legends, giving heroes the weapons they needed to overcome the trials ahead of them. That's it? That's it? That's it? Okay. Witch, practitioners of witchcraft, black magic, who are said to live among us. Various legends regarding their nature remain all over the continent. Both good and evil witches supposedly exist. Vampires are powerful fiends said to suck the blood of humans. There are many tales that exist regarding them, with some stating that they turn to ash in sunlight, and others suggesting they have no reflections, but all concur that they have significant enough power to be known as the King of Fiends. Or the 100 Days War. This is definitely new. In spring 1192 of the Septine calendar, a single cannon shot shook the Hawking Gate, situated in the northern part of the Liberal Kingdom. This marked the beginning of an invasion later known as the 100 Days' War, and the moment in which the raging Golden Stallion assailed the noble White Falcon. During this time, the Hawking Gate was little more than a reinforced medieval rampart. It easily succumbed to the round fired by one of the Empire's Rhineford Company-built orbital tanks, leaving a section of the aged barrier fractured beyond repair. And as the Liberal Kingdom's other defensive walls were hit in succession by a fusillade of cannonballs, they too fell under the explosive impact and were reduced to a mountain of rubble. At about the same time that the first cannon shot was fired, a single letter from the Erebonian embassy located in the royal city was delivered to Queen Alicia. More specifically, it was a writ containing a declaration of war by the Erebonian Empire upon the Liberal Kingdom. In terms of diplomatic wisdom, the propriety of the declaration was established by being handled prior to the preemptive strike, but in this instance, there was hardly a difference in time between when the two occurred. In short, firing the first shot at the exact moment war was declared on the Liberal Kingdom made it possible for the Erebonian Empire to guise their preemptive strike as one of legitimacy when the first bombshell hit. This could be referred to as a new diplomatic war tactic, though one incapable of being employed without a meticulous level of planning used in concert with an orbital communication system. After the destruction of the Hawking Gate, the Imperial Army began its invasion of Liberal in earnest. Overall, its troop strength was made up of 13 divisional units. This proved to be roughly half of the Empire's entire military force, and was such a massive deployment that it exceeded 3 times that of Liberal's entire royal army. Within a month after the outbreak of war, the Imperial Army had occupied nearly all of the Liberal territory. Only the Granzel region and Leiston Fortress, situated just off the shore of Valeria Lake, remained in opposition. So rapidly were these blitz tactics carried out that even the Calvar Republic, an ally of the Liberal Kingdom and longtime rival of the Erebonian Empire, never had the opportunity to dispatch auxiliary forces to aid its partner. However, in a following attempt by the Imperial Army to take direct control over the Zeiss Central Factory and Amalga Mine, they instead found themselves on the verge of being forced to surrender to Queen Alicia, who remained entrenched within the royal city. 2 months following the outbreak of war, the battle situation was altered in a way which no one could have previously anticipated. Unbeknownst to the Erebonian army, 3 patrol ships were currently being developed behind the walls of Leiston Fortress. Upon completion, they were put under the direction of veteran Commander General Morgan, and a large-scale counterattack was launched. These patrol ships, shielded by armor far superior to the tanks of their Imperial counterparts and mounted with a substantial amount of high-performance orbital weaponry, had also managed to boost their speed to over 1,800 selj per hour. Using these crafts and an independent mobile force lauded as the elite of elite, Liberal's forces mounted an attack and quickly recaptured the checkpoints connecting the various regions. And as this strike was underway, they simultaneously launched an amphibious attack from Leiston Fortress and one by one defeated the remaining isolated Imperial divisions. After just 3 months following the outbreak of war, the larger part of the Imperial Army's remaining divisions finally surrendered. However, as capitulation was at hand, there were indications of a surge of further reinforcements from the Imperial homeland, a move which galvanized other continental nations to follow suit and join the Calvar Republic in supporting Liberal. Together, they lambasted the Empire, and a formidable group of allied forces began to materialize. Amidst all the chaos, the Septine Church, in cooperation with the Bracer Guild, called for an armistice, and after approximately 100 days from the start of the war, the hostilities came to an end. In the following year of 1193, in the Herb Royal Villa on the outskirts of the royal city, a peace treaty was signed by both the Liberal and Erebonian sides. Although no indemnification was made, an official apology was offered up by the Imperial government, as they expressed that they had made a grievous error attributed to a tragic incident occurring within their borders. Red Moon Rose. That doesn't enter my book if I don't actually open it, does it? Did I read this out loud? I'm pretty sure I did. I don't think I did, actually. On 12th of February, the southern reaches of the Southern Province All orbital power came to a sudden stop in the area around Parm and Titus Gate. It had been a relatively mild winter, but without lights, communications, or heaters, the people of Parm found themselves subjected to cold and darkness for an entire week. Sutherland's provincial army was called in to provide aid after a short investigation. The source of the outage was determined to be a city-sized airship that peered over Valeria Lake in Liberal, the neighboring kingdom to the south. The floating structure had a height of 5,000 and a length of 3,000 arch. The ancient Zemurian structure drew in nearly all orbital energy from the entirety of Liberal into itself. Thus, the southern regions of Erebonia were affected as well. I think I did read this. 3 days after the incident began, the Imperial Army's 3rd Armored Division moved with surprising speed from Dreknor Fortress to Parm and then on to Titus Gate, giving support to those affected along the way. Though the army's orbital tanks ceased to function near the Empire southern border, they also had a number of steam-powered tanks available. Using the combustion-driven models allowed them to get around without relying on orbital energy. Even the cannons themselves used gunpowder ammunition. Though it wasn't ideal, it was enough to allow them to respond to the situation. The leader of the 3rd Armored Division was Lieutenant General Zex Vander, a member of the family tasked with guarding the Imperial family and a moderate, and an army led mostly by warhawks. He felt conflicted as he led his division south into Liberalian territory. The government's stated reason for his current orders were to protect the citizens during the power outage and assist Liberal during the current crisis. The strange part was that the steam-powered tanks, which were vastly inferior to the orbital-powered models, had been commissioned by the Imperial government and provided to the army only a month before the incident. Though the 3rd Armored Division was the first to make it to the border, a number of other divisions were on the way. In the end, the military intervention was stopped thanks to Prince Oliver of Erebonia's imperial family and Brigadier General Cassius Bright of the Liberalian army. With the arrival of Liberal's functioning airship, the RCL, as proof that they could handle the situation without Erebonia's assistance, they were given the time they needed to restore power to the region. As orbital energy returned to the southern reaches of the Empire, so did relative peace between the two nations. To certain individuals, however, it was clear that the Faceless, the Anguis of your Ouroboros responsible for engineering the incident, had connections to Erebonia's intelligence division. The small autonomous weapons the Faceless utilized during this period of time would later come to be known as combat shells. Oh, that's enough reading books for now. I feel like I need a break from talking, period. Hey, Land, how's work going? Oh, hello there, Reen. I just finished up the inventory check. Now, on top of that, I need to make sure we have extra supplies for our field exercises. It really is a relief to have such a professional like you taking care of us. I really can't thank you enough for coming out here to help us out. Oh no, that really is too much. I'm still just in training. Not to mention, I decided to come here for my own sake, too. How do you mean? Well, it's not a big deal or anything. It was the Civil War that made me decide to become a doctor. So many people were hurt or in danger, and I felt so powerless. I wanted to be strong enough to save someone, anyone. That's what I started to wish. So that's why you suddenly transferred to a medical college? It was so out of the blue, I never had a chance to ask you about it. Sorry to worry you. I really am still just in training at St. Ursula. So I want to get as much experience as I can. I want to be stronger. Alongside everyone else here, if possible. Me too. Please keep on supporting us, Lind.
Looking for medicine?
Oh.
Come again anytime.
I feel like my voice needs a break already. We've just started. Just started. This is what I get for reading books. I'm gonna have to read the Imperial Chronicle at some point. I'm gonna miss having you in our class. We have so few people as it is, though I guess Yuna's class is even smaller. Oh, Sandy, I will miss you too, but things won't be so different. We shall still be in the same dorm, we will still be friends. Be sure to take care of Yuna. I think the two of you will get along very well. After all, you compliment each other so nicely. Oh, I agree. You never make mistakes, Muse, but Yuna can be very careless. But I feel like the two of you working together can overcome any obstacle. I see. Now that you mention it, I can see what you mean. I already planned to ask Yuna and Altina for help, as I'm not terribly experienced at combat. Though I certainly wouldn't mind some private lessons from Instructor Reen. You really do like Instructor Reen, don't you? I guess he does seem pretty cool. And kind, too. He helped Yuna when she was feeling down. Oh, my club is starting soon. I'll see you later. In that case, I'll head to the kitchen. I've got this new recipe I want to try out. Have a wonderful time, you two. Chatting with some of your friends in military finance. You say as I approach from the shadows. Indeed, it makes me sad to think I'll be saying goodbye to them after only 2 months. There truly are so many kind people here at the branch campus. Yeah, some people just say we're playing second fiddle to the main campus, but when the chips are down, I think we have the potential to be greater than any other military academy out there. Even Thor's main campus. I agree wholeheartedly. That aside though, was there something I could help you with? A student and her instructor alone in a quiet classroom, truly an ideal setting. Well, there still are some students on the second floor. But anyway, I just came here to give you this. Oh, I see. It makes me a bit sad to think I'll have to change from my military finance handbook. But I suppose there is no other choice given the different curriculums. If you want to, you can swap in the pages from your old notebook. If there's anything from your old notebook you'd like to keep, give it a try. Oh, I see. This notebook is rather state-of-the-art, isn't it? Thank you very much, instructor. Well then, I shall be off to see my club activities now. I eagerly await being in your class. Bye, Anguis. We'll continue with these accusations until I'm proven wrong. I suppose you'll be moving over to special operations soon. Do try not to instigate any conflicts while you're there. I don't plan on starting anything. But if anyone wants a piece of me, I'll kick their ass. Didn't that attitude get you in trouble in Heimdall? I mean, I heard you beat those guys up pretty bad, but still, you gotta be careful. I just needed to make sure those assholes learn their lesson. I knew they'd try some low-life crap to get back at us, like attacking the girls. I suppose that's one way to think of it. You gotta tell us these things, man, otherwise people are gonna misunderstand you. Well, Kurt was the only guy in special operations till now, so maybe this is a good thing. Kinda pisses me off seeing 2 good-looking guys in the same class, though. On top of that, Instructor Rena's there, so I can understand your frustration. But you guys don't look that bad. It's just your other qualities that are the problem. Like a knife to my heart, dude. Instructor Ash, please teach us how to be popular with the girls. Because you're so fucking sad and desperate, Sydney. You just need to relax. Think goodbye to your friends from combat tactics? Nah, nothing like that. Well, are you patrolling the campus? Must be hard being a teacher. Well, it's just part of the job. It's pretty enjoyable, actually. Seeing you talk with your friends, I think you'd actually be pretty good at it. So, what are you really here for? You come here to bring me something? You're pretty sharp. Oh, a notebook. New curriculum pages, different activity guidelines, additions to the emergency manual. Guess you really put your time into making this. Get through that so quickly. Yeah, you can still hang on to your old one if you want. Just remember that everyone in Special Operations uses this emergency manual. Fine, got it. I'm gonna get going now. Oh, so I've got my eyes on you. Before long, I'll find out if you're the real deal or just some phony. I'll keep that in mind. He's a phony! The big fat phony! I don't remember how this place is fucking laid out. Well, they have an original song in our class. I mean, okay, so I want to go through the clubhouse, because that leads underneath and then just comes back up in the cafeteria anyway. good student. That's all we need to know. There's a few people that seem to have some personal problems going on. Alright, that goes outside. This goes to the pool. Who the hell designed this school? It's so fucking confusing. I spent 20 hours away and I completely forgotten how the school's laid out. Stark knows the thing. I should press him for details if we end up in the sauna together. Which is a weird thing to say. Who have we not? Who that is important have we not had a sauna scene with yet? I think Ash? Kurt? Yuna? We had, who do we even have? We had Millie, Randy, Altina, I want to say LeGuin. I forget. On one hand, want more personnel will make managing the group more difficult, but on the other hand, I'll be glad for the additional manpower. Ash is one thing, but Muse sometimes seems to know more than she lets on. Yeah, she's mysterious as fuck. Do you remember that floating sphere that appeared atop Stargazer's tower? I wonder what exactly it was. Well, that masked man claimed to be part of the Gnomes. They were the group that created the Divine Knights and the Spirit Shrines alongside the Hexen clan. Could it be? Serena, something wrong? No, it's nothing. Anyway, we won't get anywhere thinking about it now. You should use this chance to focus on your club activities, Altina. Drink some tea. No tennis for us. Range just hurry up and go already. Allie said it's supposed to clear out by 4, but it's not showing any signs of stopping. Something wrong, Jessica? Now that I'm thinking about it, you haven't said much today. Oh? Anyway, you're complaining too much, Yuna. All we can do for now is believe the forecast and wait. Fine. Thick. Oh, there's issue 5. Okay, here we go. More books. Inspection team returns home. On May 27th, the inspection team that was visiting the Crossbelt province completed their scheduled inspections and returned to the capital. The members tasked with the inspection were much more prominent than originally predicted, including Imperial Governor Carl Regnitz, RF Group Chairman Ariana Reinford, Prince Olivert, and Princess Alphen, which likely shocked many reporters. Local surprise at the inspection team began when the Pantic Rule arrived and their highnesses disembarked on the Governor General's deck. Princess Alphen, said to be as lovely as an angel whose beauty is in full bloom at the age of 17, especially astounded Crossbell residents who had already heard rumors of her arrival. Her friendly nature should ensure that Princess Fever will continue in the province for some time. The results of the inspection, made possible by Governor General Rufus Alperea, covered diverse areas such as politics, economy, military matters, technology, medicine, and international relations. But the biggest result was easing the minds of the citizens of Crossbell, now a formal part of the Empire after existing for so long as a suzerain state. The 8 Metropolis plan that includes Crossbell City was announced and includes stronger protection from the Republic and large-scale construction projects. Will surely lead to confidence for even further development of the continent's largest trade and finance capital. At the same time as the inspection team's visit, the Imperial Army showed off the new Dragunov-class railway cannons. While smaller than the guns formerly deployed at the Corellia Fortress, they contain nearly the same amount of firepower and can even be transported on normal railways if alternate rails are used. On this coming June 18th, the Imperial Provincial Council will be held in the port city of Ordis, Lamar Province. The event will be a collaboration between Lamar's interim provisional overseer, Marquis Ballard, and representatives of the 4 great houses. They are expected to discuss new tax reforms and various other important matters. On the transcontinental railroad that stretches from Ordis in the west far to the east, there is a special sleeper train. The train runs for roughly 10 days and contains sumptuous rooms from first to economy class and a dining car that prepares dinners with the finest goods from around the Empire. The salon features choice spirits and cigars from every nation, popular choices being perhaps the Imperial Brandy Steinrose or the Laverlian Wine Grand Chardonnay, tells Nicholas, chief of the railway's public planning department. They always gotta sneak their ad in. Nice. Okay, just in case this turns into some sort of Panzer fight or something. It's rare to see you here, Professor Schmidt. Shouldn't be that surprising. I eat most of my meals here. Canned and instant coffees are fine, but a promptly brewed coffee is always nice for a change. I had a good time for a break, so I came here to relax. Were you researching that flying ion, the shadowy blue machine we saw? What else? That flying ion's flight capabilities are inconceivable. And its omnidirectional lasers, with today's technology, none of this seems possible. Must be. Professor? Never mind. That shadowy blue machine, we can't deny its similarities. It might be the same type, or was simply made to be similar. Don't look so serious. I did use the Azure Knight as reference when making the Panzer Soldat, but that is the extent of my involvement. As long as I have the Ashen Knight near me, I'm not interested. Understood. I knew he was like this. By the way, how was the Panzer Soldat boost carrier RF delivered? I heard it utilizes Liberalian technology from ZCF. The base techniques used to make it were the Russell girls doing. Wasn't too bad, all things considered. It's rare to hear you compliment someone so easily. I'm merely giving an accurate assessment. Though I will say this, had I made it, it would have had better speed, running time, and range. That would be a good task for her. Or that niece of Makarov's. Perhaps I'll have them do just that. He's all about that tough love. Right, yeah, this does lead to the roof. Right, yeah, that's the store. Okay. I am remembering how this is laid out now. It's still dumb. Oh, Reem, you came! The baking shop is now open at the branch campus. Not bad, right? I never thought you'd take over the student store. Are you sure this is okay? I was certain you would open a shop in a bigger city. Well, I'd be lying if I said I planned this from the start. But in Crossbell, I saw that I cannot compete with those huge merchant conglomerates. You're talking about Kleist & Co. in the capital? I managed to keep the smaller stores from getting bought up, but Kleist & Co. just keep getting bigger. They're busy competing with their rivals now, but they're gonna target the smaller stores eventually. Independents like me will not be able to compete once that happens. So I decided to do something. I'm gonna create a network of all the small shops in the Empire. I see, you're gonna team up with other small shops to compete against the big shops. This is totally a plan that you would come up with, Becky. Well, I was inspired by the network Hugo created during the Civil War, but he dissolved it after the war because he said it was not efficient. I helped him make it, so I was raging. Looks like he's gonna be a rival after all. The battle's just kicking off. This shop is the first step towards war. Watch your back, Hugo. Limited supply of items from other regions.
Alright there. Catch you later. Alright there.
Alright, what are these? Oh, these are all the unique things. Oh, so you can miss them. And they're still here, but they're gonna cost more. I understand. Well, I didn't miss any Peckies. That's good to know. Well, I didn't miss anything. I already have all this shit.
Catch you later.
That's handy. How much? I have a lot of mass. So what, times 20? Or did it go up?
Here's a shout and I'll get you what you need.
That was 20. It's a lot of money.
Hope to see you again.
Probably gonna end up using it all. I'm gonna do a round outside. Talk to the peeps. There's only 3 seeds left. I assume going to the keep is pointless. I mean, I'll just double check the entrance, but... yeah, it's, like, maybe I can go in it, but like, I don't see why. Let's go to the front. The wondrous snail. Oh god. I need to remember to talk to Tita to try and do Panzer Soldat training. Don't remember if that has to be on the free day or not, but I need to remember that that's a thing. Part of me feels like I did miss it previously. Celestine, are you organizing the tennis equipment? That's correct. I also intend on checking the condition of the academy ground. Both are integral to the tennis club's practices, after all. I need to be sure they're up to snuff. I was wondering why everything was in such good shape lately. How would this academy survive without you, Celestine? Surely you jest. On a related note, I heard that we received new Panzer Soldats the other day. And that one is equipped with a special unit. We should check to make sure we have enough replacement parts in storage. What doesn't this man know? Why is he an expert in everything? Alright. Before I go in, though, I'm going to take my first break of the day. Because we spent a good chunk of time reading books. And also lots of cutscenes. That's why I named it Cutscene City? What did I say? Oh god. Cutscene City, that's what I said. That was the thing I said. I'll be right back.